Hey guys,
What?
what time is it? 4 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah.
Why are we up so crazy early?
Because we're going to Pennsylvania. Yeah.
And what are we doing in Pennsylvania?
We're going to 3 different amusement parks.
Is that going to be fun?
Yeah.
Are we going to ride some rides?
Yeah.
We were at the top and Rob said, see, it makes you stop before you go down.
It's like a 90, it's like a 95.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
Really enjoyed the whip. I think it's only one of a few of those original type whips left in the country. We've been on one at Kennywood, and Camden Park has one. I did not get to ride it because I was pregnant with our youngest last year when we went. But this was a really good whip. It's 104 years old, and it's pretty good. I did say we didn't have any at Kings Island, and my 5-year-old pointed out that they have a mini one for kids in the kiddie area, which they do.
What park did we go to today?
Dorney Park.
What was our favorite ride?
Iron Menace.
And did you like the whip
Yeah.
or Apollo?
Yeah. Oh.
And was it cold out or hot?
Hot.
Very hot. And what time did we wake up this morning?
4 o'clock.
3:30. And what time is it now?
7:25.
Yes. Are we tired?
A little bit.
Are we stinky?
Maybe.
Are we ready to go to bed?
No.
No. I am. Okay, what are we doing tomorrow?
Dorney again.
And then what are we doing on Monday?
Knoebels or Hershey?
At Hershey. And then what are we doing on Tuesday?
Knoebels.
And then what are we doing on Wednesday?
Driving home.
Yes. Hi.
Hi.
We are in line for Dorney Park.
It's our second day. It's Sunday, July 14th, 2024. It's 8:58 a.m. We got here like 9:43 maybe we pulled in.
8:43.
8:43. So the park opens at 10, so we're over an hour early. But we got here yesterday at like 1, maybe 12:30, and it was a mess getting in. So, and our hotel's across the street. So we got up early, got some breakfast at the hotel, stopped for gas, and got here. And now we're just sitting and waiting to get in. But we're like the 5th car in line. So we're hoping they open the parking lot here in a few minutes.
And it's going to be hot.
Hot. It was very hot yesterday. I was melting. It was not good. But we're hoping getting here early, everyone will go to the water park and we can get on the rides pretty quickly. Get our 2 meals, lunch and dinner with our pass. Oh, it looks like the cars are moving. It is about 9 a.m. coaster credits. He rode the Iron Menace and the Woodstock Express, which he did not ride last time he was at Dorney because he had no children with him. Our oldest daughter actually rode it by herself the first day. She was tall enough to ride by herself. It's, I believe, 42 inches. But our younger one needed an adult, and it was just me at the time, so I had to stay with our youngest and the baby. But the next day, on Sunday, Robbie rode with our youngest, and our two oldest rode it together. Robbie's about to ride Possessed. Thunderhawk is 100 years old this year. That's their wooden coaster.
Very rough.
Yes, Robbie said it was very rough. I think our son liked it. Did you like Thunderhawk?
Yeah.
Yeah, he liked Thunderhawk. finished our 2 days at Dorney Park. It's about 8:14 a.m. and we got some breakfast and left the hotel right around 8 a.m. Overall, we think the park is mainly the water park as the main attraction. It's only got a few big rides. Robbie did all the big coasters except for Talon. The lines for the rides on Sunday really weren't too bad. We think everyone was at the water park. The only issues we had was that it rained around lunchtime, and we were eating lunch 12 o'clock. So we were eating lunch in the rain, or kind of under the sheltered area by Iron Menace while it rained. And then they didn't open the rides until, was it about 3 o'clock?
Well, it stopped raining at 12:30.
Yeah, so it was a really quick rain. I didn't even hear any thunder or see lightning.
And then the sun came out, and the only things that were open were the whip and the carousel.
Yeah, so we rode the whip. We went through twice. We didn't realize you could fit 3 people in a car, so Robbie rode
I think that was the operator that went through in the car.
Okay. Yeah, so Robbie rode with our older 2, and then I rode with our... Who did I ride with? Our older 2 girls, I think. Because they both needed an adult. So then we went and rode the carousel, because those were the only 2 rides that were open, because they're undercovers. And then some rides started opening, like I think the Wild Mouse opened and Meteor opened.
No. Wild Mouse didn't open.
Oh, Meteor opened, which is a big one that goes upside down. Robbie and Rob rode that. But it's still...
We rode the Shake, Rattle, Roll first.
The
Kaleidoscope,
which is like Shake, Rattle, and Roll at Kings Island. And then finally coasters started opening.
At like 3...
Around 3 or 3:30. So we're not sure why it took several hours for the rides to open back up after the rain. So that was a bit frustrating. But then they were able to go ride Thunderhawk. I was able to ride Iron Menace. And Robbie got a second ride on that. He also rode Possessed, which is like Wicked Twister, kind of similar to it, that was at Cedar Point. We did notice there were no height check stations and no height wristbands, so all the kids had to be height checked at every ride. We didn't have any issues with our older kids. Our oldest is 50 inches, and then we have 42 inch and then 36 inches. And they were all able to ride everything that they were supposed to be able to ride. The only issues we had was our 8-month-old. She can sit up on her own, so she's able to ride a lot of kiddie rides at Kings Island that you don't have to be 36 inches to ride, because she can sit up. The only inconsistencies are sometimes they say she has to wear socks or shoes, and most of the time they don't. So we usually have a pair of socks for her just in case. At Dorney, on the kiddie rides, the first couple operators said that she had to be able to stand up on her own. And she's not really doing that yet, but when I got to the balloon race, I said she could, and the operator asked to see it, so I put her down, and she could stand while I was holding her, so she let her ride. But then at their ride that spins around, it's kind of like Teacups or like Cargo Loco at Kings Island, that ride she just had to be able to sit up on her own, so she was able to ride that with no issues. The only other thing I think she rode was the Zephyr Railroad train. I think other than that, she just hung out in the stroller most of the time. She was really good. Took a few naps and was just hanging out in the stroller. On our second day, on Sunday, we got food at Whitewater Tavern again for dinner. I think our second meal. The first meal was the, what's it called? Iron Grill. Iron Mill or Iron Grill over by Iron Menace. They did have a few areas that were covered and had like couches along with some tables and chairs, which we don't really have that at Kings Island, so it was really nice. One area I thought was a VIP area because it looked so nice. We didn't go in, but There were some areas that were nice and shaded. It was so hot. It was in the 90s. Most people were at the water park, so but it was very hot. We were able to sit down in some benches with trees or like under overhangs for some shade. Overall, the park, it's a bit smaller than Kings Island and even Carowinds. It's pretty compact. The only area you kind of have to walk a ways to get to, I thought, was Iron Menace. And there is a big hill in the park. Is it just one hill? There is one big hill in the park that you have to go up and down. Overall, I didn't think the park was so hilly. I think Holiday World overall is hillier, but I wasn't pushing a stroller.
Pushing the double stroller with
Yeah, I was not
kids.
pushing a stroller with 2 or 3 kids up the hill like Robbie was. The kids really enjoyed the park, I think. I did really like their Planet Snoopy area. It had a nice big fountain in the middle, kind of as a centerpiece, which was really nice. And it had a lot of rides, so the girls were really able to do a lot. There were a decent amount they could do on their own, but there were a lot where our youngest needed an adult, which is tricky when we have the baby with us because one of us always has to stay with her. So Robbie would go ride some big things with our oldest, and then we had to kind of wait until they got back so one of us could stay with the baby and ride. But there were some things the kids were able to get on their own, which is really nice. Overall, I felt like it had more kiddie rides than kind of big rides. There were some bigger things we didn't do, like Demon Drop. I have a ride that's like Witch's Wheel that used to be at Cedar Point, but it's not there anymore. We can't think of the name of it, but neither of us rode it. I think we've both ridden the Witch's Wheel when it was at Cedar Point. Oh, Robbie never rode it. I rode the Witch's Wheel when it was at Cedar Point, and I think it's a very uncomfortable seat, and it's kind of awkward, so I skipped it, and Robbie had no interest. He's never ridden the Demon Drop either. I rode the Demon Drop when it was at Cedar Point, so I have ridden something that Robbie hasn't, which is unusual. Overall, operations I thought were okay. It did seem a little inefficient. Sometimes they would let everybody in. You would all sit down and get on the ride, and then they would go back to like the drive box area and make an announcement about putting your phones away, and they'll come around and check your bars and seatbelts, and then they would come around and check bars and seatbelts, and I thought that was a little inefficient and took a little longer than necessary. Like maybe they could make those announcements while people are kind of getting in and getting buckled and everything. And what's your new favorite ride of all time?
Iron Menace.
That's because his daddy designed and helped draw up all the drawings for the station.
Yes, Robbie helped design the station as part of his job. And the first day they rode Iron Menace, our son said that it was really intense, and he didn't want to ride it again. But then we went back the next day, and he and I rode it. And then I think, did he ride it with you again? So he rode it twice the next day, and now has decided that it's not only his favorite ride at Dorney Park, but his favorite ride of all time. And he really likes the top when it stops you and you hang over for a few seconds, and then there's a 95-degree angle and you go straight down and come in a little bit. He really likes that. Now today is Monday, July 15th, and we are headed to Hershey Park. It's going to be about an hour and 15-minute drive. We left our hotel around 8 a.m. and they open at 10. So we're hoping to give ourselves a little bit of time to get there early. And the vlog for Hershey Park will be coming up next. Thank you for watching the Cincy Coaster Couple, and as always,
Be sure to like and subscribe.
see you next time.